Hey y'all, it's Ricky T. I'm here on the balcony, here at the Taylor Plantation in absolutely wonderful Beech Grove, Indiana. Before we get started, just real quickly, since I mentioned absolutely wonderful Beech Grove, Indiana, stink bugs are going crazy already. It's not even October yet. Speaking of Beech Grove, a new survey just came out. Based on statistics, Beech Grove has been named the 5th safest city in Indiana. So congratulations, Mayor Buckley. Congratulations, Beech Grove PD, and congratulations, fellow citizens of Beech Grove. We all make it happen. What makes this even more amazing is Indianapolis is the most unsafe city in Indiana, and Beech Grove is completely surrounded by Indianapolis. So we are the 5th safest city in Indiana, despite being geographically landlocked around the most unsafe city in Indiana. So love Beech Grove, love living here. So anyway, a lot of people over the last few days have been asking me, Ricky T, what do you think about this whole impeachment nonsense? What's your take on it? So that's what I'm going to talk about with you here for a little bit tonight. Before I do, you know I'm always smoking my cigars. So just so you know, tonight I got a Rocky Patel vintage 1992. You've seen me smoke these before. One of my favorites. I went and got one of my favorites out tonight. Great cigar. If you want to get into some higher quality cigars, pretty much any Rocky Patel, but the vintage line, the 90, the 92, the 79, there's a bunch of them. They're all great. My dog's getting ready to bark because there's another dog in the neighborhood, so you might hear it. So, there he goes. So, I'll let him bark for a minute. We got a walker walking the dog, so he's got to say hello to the neighbors. He's a friendly dog. So, we're going to talk about impeachment and my take on it. So, before I talk to y'all, I need to have a quick little conversation with my girl, Nancy Pelosi. Nancy, girl, what's going on, Nancy? Nancy, Chewy. Hold on for a second. Chill out, boy. Chill out, look at him. Nancy, let me get your attention back, Nancy. Nancy, what's going on, Nancy? So, we know you're corrupt. We know you're a hack politician. But for a while, I at least had to respect you a little bit because you was pushing back against the really far crazy lefties like AOC and Ilmar, Obar, whatever the hell her name is, and Schiff and Nadler and all those way wacky lefties. You was holding back on them because you knew as a longtime politician, look y'all, if we ain't got no evidence and we go to try to do some impeachment, we're going to look stupid and we're going to lose the election big time. So I had to give you some credit for that. But now all of a sudden, now you come out last week and you say, we're rolling. We're rolling with an inquiry on impeachment. So Nancy, does somebody got something on you? Did you commit a crime and somebody said, we got to roll or I'm going to let it out? So I don't know what's up with Nancy, but I do, on behalf of the American people, Nancy, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for moving forward with the inquiry on the impeachment because the American people are pissed off at you. And it ain't been nothing going on for the last 3 years with the Democrats except one investigation after another with no evidence. Y'all ain't doing nothing legislatively. You ain't doing nothing to help the American people. Trump's had to do it all on his own because y'all won't even talk to him. You won't put nothing out on the floor of the Senate. All you're doing is collusion, obstruction, recession, yada, yada, yada. You keep coming up with one thing after another, and it all keeps coming up nothing. So thank you, Nancy, because now you have pretty much guaranteed Donald Trump's re-election landslide style. Not quite Ronald Reagan style, but landslide style. You've pretty much guaranteed the Republicans will take back the Congress, the lower chamber, the House of Representatives, And you probably pretty much guaranteed that the Republicans who already have 53 seats in the Senate will get a few more. So thank you, Nancy. I appreciate it. I really do. God bless you. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. I had to talk to Nancy for a minute and just thank her for her stupidity. So, impeachment. What's my take? You kind of got a feel for it from what I was just telling Nancy. So let's get into it. Right away, on another note, along with my cigar, Captain Morgan, along with a little Coke Zero. Delicious. So delicious. So first, let's talk about what is impeachment, what are the rules, what does this all mean? So, as y'all know, there's two chambers of Congress. The lower chamber is the House of Representatives, the upper house is Senate. They both have a different role as it relates to impeachment. Now, what is impeachment? Basically, what happens is the lower chamber, the House of Representatives, is the house that can call for an inquiry on impeachment. Technically, there needs to be a high crime or misdemeanor according to the Constitution. They're going to say there's a crime without any evidence, which is going to make them look like a bunch of damn fools, which is fine by me. And so, assuming how it would happen if it happened is they would call for the inquiry, which they have done, and then they would have all these testimonies like they've been doing already, and then at some point there would be a vote. Now, there's a lot of Democrats who in 2018 who won their districts in districts that Trump won in 2016. So a lot of these Democrats who won in 2018 are afraid that in 2020, if they don't walk the line, if they don't kind of hold back, that they're going to lose if they get involved in this nonsense. So at this point, it's questionable as to whether the Democrats even have enough votes to do it. Now, so we'll see. Some of them might be smart and just not want to do it. After all, there's been no crime that we know of. Has Trump committed a crime? I have no idea. What I do know is there's not been any evidence of a crime come out. So unless they come out with some evidence, you got to say there's no crime, at least not yet, that we know of. So, but let's say they did it, they voted, and they got enough votes. So all that does is articles of impeachment have passed. Now, articles of impeachment are the legal equivalent. Let me spit that out. Articles of impeachment are equivalent in a legal sense to an indictment. So, an indictment just means basically you're calling somebody forward on a crime to potentially be investigated for the crime. So, and if you are familiar with the legal community, there's a joke in the legal community about indictments that says you can indict a ham sandwich. Okay, so basically what the joke means is if you want to indict somebody, you can indict them. If there's nothing there, it typically gets dropped before it goes to trial or anything. So that's kind of what you would see probably happening with Trump. If they did it, if they were stupid enough to vote it and win the vote, it would then go to the Senate. Now the Senate's role is, after an indictment, you have a trial. So the same with articles of impeachment, you have a trial. The trial is done by the Senate. So there'd be more testimony in front of the Senate instead of, previous it'd be testimony with the House of Representatives. So then at some point they would have to vote. After all the testimony and everything, the Senate would have to vote on whether to impeach. So the Senate is is the body that actually does the impeaching. The lower chamber files the articles of impeachment and votes on it. If it goes through, then it's the Senate who actually does the trial and can do the actual impeachment. So, in order to impeach a president, you have to have 67 out of 100 senators vote. Now, we currently have 53 Republicans, 47 Democrats. If you count Bernie Sanders, who's technically an independent, he votes for the Democrats. So that would mean all the Democrats and 20 Republicans would have to vote for impeachment, assuming they got there. There ain't no way on God's green earth that's happening. So that's where we're at. So here's the deal. Why are the Democrats even messing around with this? They're just making themselves look like a bunch of damn fools. Come on, Democrats, come out with some sort of policy. Come out with something for us to discuss. All right? It's not going to happen. And here's the thing. If you keep fooling around with it, you're going to continue to piss the American people off more. And the further along this goes, the more likely it is more Republicans are going to win in 2020. Another person's walking, so the dog's going to bark again. All right, I'm almost done. So basically, that's how impeachment works. That's how it's going to go down. Now, I read an article today. I need to do a little bit more research on it. And basically what the article said was constitutionally, Mitch McConnell, the majority leader, could basically say, we're not voting. Screw it, we're dropping it here. So if I can confirm that to be the case, that's even more reason to just drop it. I think the only reason the Democrats are even still talking about it is because they know that they don't have anything to counter Trump on with anything he's done. So the only thing they've got is to try to bring him down. They know the only way they can win is if they bring him down. That's it. And that's why they're doing this, because they don't got nothing. The economy's booming, employment is up, unemployment is down, wages is up, jobs are coming back to America from other countries, trade deals are getting done, yada, 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 yada. They ain't got nothing, so they're just trying to bring him down. That's my take, y'all. That's what I got for you. That's the impeachment thing. I don't think it's going to happen. Trump kind of wants it to move forward because he knows the further along this goes, the more it helps him, the more it makes the Democrats look like a bunch of damn fools who don't have nothing. They're just, literally, they're just a bunch of big crybabies. They're still crying about losing the election. They ain't got nothing to counter Trump on, so they're just making stuff up and trying to bring him down. That's all. So that's all there is to it. That's all I got. So if you want to comment, whatever, feel free. In the meantime, I'll be back soon. And as you know, I always say it, God bless America.